Guys, our next comedian, one of my absolute favourites, Amanda Bergmann. Let's give her a big clap.
Hello, how is everybody? Pretty good, nice. I mean, I know I yelled at the back there that the holidays have been pretty fucked, but actually they're okay, they're not too bad. Like, we're not going anywhere at the moment. It's a bit like a COVID holiday. We're staying at home until today. Like, this is how Tasmanian I am. If you didn't think I was Tasmanian, I went somewhere today because I came to Kingston. Yep, that's hyper-local for you. No, it's been an okay holidays. I did actually something really cool today. I went and saw the Barbie movie. Woo! Woo! Who's seen the Barbie movie? It's only just come out. No one? I'm not going to spoil it. Don't worry. You look like a prize contender for the Barbie movie. So I'm not going to ruin your hopes and dreams, young man. Yeah, I know. It's all good. I got you. But I am just going to give you a bit of a breakdown. It was such a good movie. Like, honestly, just go. Yeah, go tomorrow. Yeah, wag. Take a day off work. It was actually incredibly cool. It was, if you're unsure, it does some amazing things. Here's my review of the Barbie movie. So it really unpacked patriarchy in a very playful but, slightly sadistic manner where you can see what it's all about. It really raised up the voice of egalitarian feminism, which I just thought was incredible. But I do have a complaint. I got 4 out of 5 stars, and that 1 star that went missing was because of one thing that I did not feel accurately represented my experience with Barbies. And I can say it in 3 words. I'm not going to wax on about it too much. Not enough scissoring. And it's possible, right? Okay, it's possible that it was the fact that a PG rating means you're going to draw in more audience, you're going to get a bit more money. But also it was the fact there was a presence of a Ken. Because when I grew up, we were not allowed to have a Ken because of the problematic tiny lump down here. In fact, I knew more about Ken's problematic tiny lump down here than I knew about my opportunistic tiny lump down here because no one bothered to tell me. But we knew all about Ken. So we weren't allowed to have a Ken. This was the way of protecting us from, being sort of defiled by the ideas of sex. Yet my mother never questioned what was that rapid staccato clacking sound that was coming out of my bedroom. The fact that I'm mostly straight is a miracle in and of itself. But no, look, the Barbie movie was brilliant. It was really good. It was nice to go along. I did go with children who missed half of the innuendo of the Barbie movie. But, I realised all this tiny young audience there today, it did make me feel a bit old. And I have been feeling a bit old lately. And I know, you say you're old and everyone's like, you get some people going, oh, yeah, she is probably a bit old. And fuck you. And then you'll get other people, sorry, my friend, who might be, really... And it's okay, because I've got a reason I can say this, okay? I'll explain. I'll unpack it for you, okay? So you got 20-somethings, they say they're old, and you're just like, oh, my God, shut up, you fetus. You're not old, okay? And you get 30-somethings who are like, oh, God, I'm really old. And you're like, you are not old. Shut the fuck up or we'll bloody ruin your property market again. Shut up. But I'm in my mid-40s, okay? In my upper mid-40s. And I can now say that I'm old. Like, I'm not old. I can say I'm old because anyone who is, that next sort of generation older than me hasn't got the bone density or the dexterity to fight me. Come at me. No, don't. You're hip. Yeah. Don't. But no, one of the reasons that I know that I'm old is I've lost something. I mean, I've lost collagen, right? I've lost breast height. They're just kind of like heading down. But one of the things I've lost that's really made me realise that I'm getting old is I can no longer understand teenagers. I have a burgeoning teenager in my house and I realised that she was going into puberty and that I was getting old because I just can't fucking understand her anymore. And the reason I can't understand teenagers is twofold, right? I'm going to have to actually do this to explain it properly. The reason that I can't understand teenagers is twofold. And first of all is because they speak incredibly fast at an incredibly low volume. right? So they speak at 200 words per minute at 2 decibels. And I just can't. I'm just like, I've just gotten to a stage where I just can't pick that up anymore. And then they do all sorts of weird punctuating. Like I'll give you an example, right? If I ask my 12-year-old, 12-year-old, but she's very much a teenager, I guarantee you. If I ask my 12-year-old, how was your day? She's like, I said, anyway, so we decided we're going to go to Kmart and we're just going to get some hair clips and stuff. And I said to my friend, Evie, you should come to Kmart with us. She was like, oh my God, no, I'm not going to come to Kmart. Oh, and it's incredible. So we just got our green cards and we went down and we went to Lavisa and we saw Savannah there. It was just amazing. Then we just bought some earrings. It was just incredible. And it was like... that last part, for a while, we thought she was developing tics. But she's just developed TikToks. So, just can't get it at all. But the other thing is as well, and I always thought I would stay cool. Like when you're younger, you're like, I'll stay cool. I'll always know what the latest music is and the latest words. Fuck that. I cannot keep up. And I can't keep up with the jargon. So like that little thing that my teenager normally does and all the stuff, you'll usually punctuate it with something like slay. You're like, what the fuck? Slay? What? I don't know. No cap. And I'm like, fuck, I don't know what's going on. So I can't keep up with the slang. And then one time she had a friend round and, they said, oh, wow, the dinner was really nice. And they never compliment me on my food. I make great food. They never compliment me on my food. I was like, bleh. And so I was like, wow. I was like, oh, yeah, watch me flex, fam. I'm lit, bruh. No cap. And I turned around. The little friend was smiling nicely, but my 12-year-old's like... And she's like, what are you doing? And I was like, well, honey, I'm just trying to communicate with you and your friend here using your own vernacular. And the chins are getting, oh my God, I don't know what you were trying to do, but we have had the sex talk, all right? Oh my God, piss off. So, I can't communicate with the slang. And it's bad enough when it's my kid. That's okay. I can kind of handle that. But I do know other teenagers. In fact, I've got a friend who's got an 18-year-old, so still a teenager, just newly 18, but now legally an adult as well. However, this person is quite happy to talk to me, to share things with me, because I'm not mum. What this person doesn't know, and you can never tell them if you ever work out who it is, that I go back and tell mum everything. But sometimes, now there's information being shared. And I asked this particular person recently, I said, what are you doing on the weekend? You going to go out and have a few drinks? And he was like, oh, yeah, no, I'm going to go out and, we're going to have a few nangs. Now, does everybody know what a nang is? No? Okay, so, all right, so nangs are these little cylinders. They're nitrous oxide bulbs. And essentially they're for putting gas into food that makes it change. Anyway, so they've become the drug of the now, okay? Sorry? Not quite... Yeah, oh, yes, whippets. Yes, this is one of the names. We never called them whippets. We never called them nangs, in fact. And the reason people call them nangs is because when you breathe in this gas that you get from one, apparently in your ears it goes nang, 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 nang. Now, I said I came all the way down to Kingston, right? I'm from Moona. And we have these bikes that go around with not electric bikes. These are the proper, petrol bikes that cruise around. So all over Moona on any given night, you can hear this noise, which means I'm doing nangs every single day. But no, they were called whippets. And in fact, when I was younger, they're not a new drug, right? They're not a new drug. And we had a really nice way of putting it, which I didn't think sounded as silly as nangs. We used to say it was taking a sneaky suck on the old cream canister. Which I think, it sounds perfectly fine. Absolutely. But the problem was when this 18-year-old person told me that they were going to go out and do a few nangs, I've got my 47-year-old ears on, right? And they've got their teenage mouth in my general direction. And I heard, I'm going to go out and do a few nans. Now, in order to maintain the confidence of this young person and not have them feel that I am too distant from them, I went along with the conversation and tried to be nice and supportive. And I went, oh, that's a bit different. And this is where they got a bit defensive and said, oh, yeah, no, it's legal. It's legal, which nangs are. But I'm thinking to myself, well, it's legal. I mean, it's pretty intergenerational. But when two people consent, sure, that's legal, that's fine. Everyone's saying yes and saying yes enthusiastically. And I said, okay, no, it's fine, yeah, legal, that's good. Yeah, and then they're not bad for you. And I'm thinking, well, no, maybe it's actually quite a good thing. Maybe this is something we're missing in our society, where perhaps women of a certain sort of sexual prestige could be best equipped showing young men the ropes. And it might be a good way of, informing and bring them along. It's fine. And I said, oh, no, that's okay. Yeah, sure. It's not bad for you. No, not at all. And then he said, oh, and I'm respectful about it. I was like, well, I expected nothing less. Respect. I said, how do you embody respect in this sort of transaction? And what do you do that really embodies respect in this? You're trying to bring some meaning to the conversation. He said, well, after you finish, because it only takes a couple of minutes, I dispose of them properly, whereas some of my friends just throw them out the car window. And at that stage was when I realised it definitely was not Nan's. You have been fabulous. Have a wonderful evening.